Have you ever stopped to think about the hidden chemistry that's literally all around us? I mean, it's in our food, our cleaning supplies, even inside our own bodies. Today, we're going to dive into the amazing world of acids and bases, and you'll see just how much they're a part of, well, everything you do.
So, let's start with a really simple question that you've probably noticed yourself. Why is it that a lemon makes your face pucker up with that super sour taste, but soap feels slippery and has that weirdly bitter taste? Well, the answer is all about chemistry.
And that answer comes down to two basic types of chemicals, acids and bases. They are everywhere. Seriously, understanding them is the key to unlocking all these chemical secrets that are hiding right there in your own kitchen.
So what's the actual difference? It's pretty straightforward when you break it down. Acids, right? They get their name from the Latin word acre, which means sour, and that totally explains their taste. Bases, on the other hand, are known for being bitter and having that classic slippery, almost soapy feel.
You know, this is a fantastic slide to jot down for your revision notes, because it shows just how common acids are in our daily lives. You've got the acetic acid that gives vinegar its kick, the citric acid in lemons and oranges, and even the formic acid in a painful ant sting. See? They're everywhere.
And bases are just as common. We find them in really powerful cleaning products like the ammonium hydroxide in window cleaner, and even in helpful stuff like the magnesium hydroxide and milk of magnesia.
Okay, so we know acids are sour and bases are bitter, but obviously we can't, and we absolutely should not, go around taste testing everything to figure out what it is. So how do scientists safely tell the difference?
Well, the solution is something called an indicator. And this right here is where the chemistry gets really colorful. Indicators give us a safe and pretty clever visual test to see if something is an acid or a base.
Here's the main idea. An indicator is just a special substance that changes its color when it touches an acid or a base. If it touches an acid, it'll show one color. If it touches a base, it'll show a totally different one. It's kind of like a chemical traffic light.
Now, what's really cool is that a lot of these indicators are found right in nature. This slide is basically your ultimate cheat sheet. Litmus, the most famous one, turns red in acid and blue in a base. But check out turmeric. Yeah, the spice in your kitchen. It stays yellow in acid, but turns a deep red in a base. You might have even seen this happen if you've ever spilled curry on a white shirt and tried to wash it out with soap.
Now, besides the natural ones, there are also man-made indicators that we use in labs. A really common one is called phenolphthalein. Its trick is a little different. It's totally colorless in an acid, but the second it hits a base, boom, it turns this super vibrant pink.
So, we can define acids and bases, and we can identify them with color. But what happens when they actually meet? Well, this leads to one of the most important reactions in all of chemistry. It's called neutralization.
This slide shows the whole process perfectly. Just imagine an acid is this reactive red liquid, and a base is a blue one. When you mix them together in just the right amounts, their special properties completely cancel each other out. They neutralize one another, and they create something totally new.
And here is the official chemical formula behind it all. An acid plus a base gives you salt and water. But look at that little note in the parentheses. Heat is also released. This reaction actually warms up the mixture, which is a big sign that a chemical change is happening.
Now, this isn't just some cool experiment you do in a lab. The neutralization reaction is happening all around us, and it's solving some very common everyday problems. Let's look at a few examples of this chemistry in action.
Okay, here's one many of us have dealt with: indigestion or heartburn. That really uncomfortable feeling is caused by having way too much hydrochloric acid in your stomach. It's basically an acid overload.
So how do you fix it? You fight an acid with a base. Antacids, like milk of magnesia, have a base in them called magnesium hydroxide. When you take it, that base gets to work neutralizing the extra acid in your stomach, and that's what brings you relief. It's a perfect, real-world neutralization reaction.
All right, let's take another example. You get stung by an ant. Ouch! That sharp, burning pain is because the ant just injected a little bit of formic acid right into your skin.
And what's the common home remedy? Rubbing a paste of baking soda on it. Why does that work? Well, because baking soda is a base. It neutralizes that nasty formic acid from the sting, and that's what helps calm the pain. It's simple chemistry as first aid.
This whole idea of neutralization is even critical for growing our food. If soil gets too acidic because of fertilizers, plants just can't grow well. So what do farmers do? They add bases, like slaked lime, to neutralize the soil.
And hey, if the soil is too basic, they do the opposite. They add organic matter, which releases acids as it breaks down, bringing everything back into a healthy balance.
So we've been talking about all these familiar acids and bases in our kitchens and gardens, but it's really important to end on a quick word about safety and the bigger environmental picture.
Let's be really clear. The vinegar in your kitchen is not the same thing as the concentrated acids in a chemistry lab. Strong acids and bases are corrosive, which means they can literally eat through materials, including your skin. So you always have to handle them with extreme care. And on a global scale, this same chemistry can cause huge environmental problems. When pollutants from things like factories and cars mix with the rain in the atmosphere, they create acid rain. And that acid rain can damage entire forests, harm fish and other aquatic life, and even slowly dissolve buildings and statues over time.
So there you have it. From the sour taste of a lemon to the relief you get from an antacid, the chemistry of acids and bases is a huge part of our world. It's a perfect example of incredible science just hiding in plain sight. So the real question is, what other secrets is science hiding out there, just waiting for us to find them?